What up, what up, what up? I'm back over here all about the Bills. I'm back like Dion's hairline. It's your boy. I'm your host, Draper J, aka Brother Baldhead, aka the Mustache Menace, aka Mr. Brown Sipper. Put some respect on that. And I'd like to thank everyone who tuned in last week on the podcast and the YouTube channel. That was very greatly appreciated. If you stuck around for the first show and you liked it and you're back, thank you. Hey, let's build this thing. All right, like I started off last show, I gave you a report card of expectations of what I think of individuals in the organization. Last week, it was Coach Sean McDermott. This week, Josh Allen, your report card expectations. Let's get it. First, I'd like to start off, we need consistency out of Josh Allen. We need that Dallas game and second Miami game. We need that type of consistency out of him all year long. Reason being, if you have that type of consistency at quarterback with the defense that we have, we got dogs out there on defense. So we get more opportunities to score. So if you're consistent, a quarterback can move the chains and we can convert those tough third downs, which at times later on in the season, Josh showed that he can do, which is kind of crazy, which I don't see why so much hate on him. The guy actually did, like on crucial third downs, he made the right throws. Even after he may have made a mistake or two, we've had quarterbacks in the past that'll throw an interception or two and then they'll just look like trash the rest of the game. Or they be afraid to throw the ball. We had i.e. Trent Edwards, captain check down. Tyrod Taylor, he was another captain check down. Next, I would like to see him have like at least 3 breakout games. Just for me. But to me, a breakout game is 280 yards plus in the air, maybe 80 yards plus on the ground, and 4 total touchdowns. He's had those type of games in the past. I mean, the Dolphins know that well because last year he carved them up several times. Give me at least 4 combined comeback wins and if whatever game-winning drives. He has those game-winning drives. It's no doubt. I mean, he's done that. Let's think about the Jets game last year. He hit John Smoke Brown on the pass down the sideline, won the game. Cincinnati, and he hit Dawson Knox wide open. They set it up for us to run it on in to win the game. Tennessee, he throws Duke Williams to seal the game. Played pretty solid that game. And let's just look down the list. I have the whole season pulled up. Pittsburgh, he hit Tyler Kroft. It was Tyler Kroft's sight. Finally, I haven't seen Tyler Kroft all year. I thought we had let him go somewhere. I mean, but Tyler Kroft to win 17-10 with Josh Allen. I would like to see him have at least about combined 4. It doesn't matter what type of what ratio it is for comeback and game-winning drives, because those are the type of things as a quarterback that they come back to as far as like when they come to the table as far as, when your contract's up. What type of money are they talking? Ball security has to be a big thing. This year, Josh Allen had 9 picks, but he also lost 7 fumbles. So combined, that's like, 16 turnovers altogether? And that's not a good look as far as like your quarterback, the guy who touches the ball every single time on offense. That's not a good look when somebody who's handling the ball. I'm not quite sure Josh understands that. They even said in the end of the season press conference that as soon as the Houston game was over, maybe either, if not that day, the next day, they called him in to talk to him about what he needs to improve on. He already had a laundry list of things he needed to improve. And I'm thinking, and I'm not a smart man, but I'm thinking on the top of that list was probably like turnovers. That's probably one of the things he probably had on there because he knows he has to be better. The team depends on him. And the guy, let's be for real, the guy gets it about Buffalo. The team loves him. They rally around him. He may throw a pick or so and then they right back out there. Even Dable, even the head coaches. There's no doubt in my mind that the organization doesn't have any confidence in this young guy. But for us to be on that that next step, you got to be, you have to, limit those turnovers. And my last point on this subject, as I mentioned last show, we got 4 of those top dog teams that we have to beat. We have to at least, there's 4 of them, we have to at least beat 2 of them. You got Kansas City at home, San Fran on the road, Seattle, LA at the house, right? So, he has to be the reason that we win 2 of those games. If he isn't the reason we win 2 of those games, or we sweep all 4, and he isn't the reason, hey, I'm not going to be hurt as a Bills fan at all. But I would like to see that from him. If you have any comments on any one of these subjects, feel free. Look me up I'm on Facebook, All About the Bills. You can look me up on there. Twitter, All About the Bills. You can @ me at Draper Jackson 1. All one word with a capital D on the Draper, capital J, and you good. You can find me. And then if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button. People's elbow, that subscribe button. So you can know when I post a video, hey, I'm bringing you that thunder. I will be doing an Instagram page also for my Instagram followers. So I will be on there pretty shortly. I'll set up a page on there. Gotta be all over. All About the Bills gotta be all over. Trying to build a brand. Can't build a brand, I'm just stuck on MySpace. Yeah, but anyway, let's move along to the coaching hires. First off, I want to talk about Matt Rhule. Matt Rhule, I really don't know anything about him. I just know he was the head coach at Baylor. I mean, they put up points. I think he took over after Art Briles, after that whole Art Briles fallout over there at Baylor. What are they gonna do with Cam Newton? Is Cam gonna be Super Bowl MVP Cam? Well, in regular season MVP, let's say that. Regular season MVP Cam that got to the Super Bowl 15-1 Cam? Or is he gonna be this injury-laden guy that really can't get back on the field and show if he still can play? I hope he does get back on the field for somebody and plays, but I don't know. And it looked like they were going with what's the guy's name that was at quarterback? Kyle Allen. I thought maybe he might have the juice for a minute, but he faded out, came to the end of the season. Because at one point they was kind of keeping up neck and neck with the Bills. They was like 5-3-ish, something like that. Round they were winning games, and he was actually looking good. Matt Rhule has his work cut out for him. To me, this is my opinion. I think Carolina really just cut bait too quick from Ron Rivera. He just hasn't had the consistency at quarterback. I mean, Cam is either hurt or playing mediocre, and you don't want to, sit a guy like that who has the potential to do his thing. I don't know. I'm not gonna do any predictions for each one of these coaches. I'm just going through kind of my thoughts of what I think about how or what the signing may have been like. But I mean, I give the signing maybe like a scale of 1 to 10, 5. I mean, it doesn't wow me or anything like that. I'm not like, man, they got the right coach. Nah, I mean, I don't know. Which moves me on to the next head coach hiring for the Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski. They're enamored with this guy. Yeah, I mean, he's a good offensive coordinator. I think he was offensive coordinator under Minnesota last year. So he's shown that he can produce with weapons on offense. You know what I'm saying? And the quarterback play or whatever, he's shown that he can get the most out of a quarterback. He has weapons, but still again, over there at Cleveland, you got to put all of it together. But first and foremost, you got to solidify that line, because I mean, Baker Mayfield was running for his life a lot of times last year. So that's Cleveland. Let's move on to Dallas, my favorite team. If anybody knows about the Mid-South area, it's either Dallas or Pittsburgh down here. So once they signed Mike McCarthy, it was like, oh, we going to the Super Bowl again. It's out. They going to the Super Bowl every year. If you live down here in Memphis, Tennessee, they going to the Super Bowl every year. So don't believe the hype. Dallas signed Mike McCarthy, which I didn't see coming. Because, I mean, when you look at Dallas, you got a metal some owner that can't really stay out the way, can't get out of his own way, for a lack of a better term. Mike McCarthy. I was like, okay. I didn't think they could even do anything to that measure, or to that magnitude, because if I'm a head coach of any type of stature, I won't want to be in Dallas. All because of that you ran Jimmy Johnson out for talking too much. Barry Switzer, I guess Barry just wanted to get in the NFL for a year or two and say, hey, I'm out. Got him a ring, out of here. Or maybe, who knows, maybe something like that was going on behind the scenes. They got Zeke in the backfield. Dak looked like he's taking the next step to being a Pro Bowl quarterback. And if you could sign Amari Cooper back, you got Amari Cooper. So you got your triplets. Defense wasn't terrible. And it's kind of seemed like another little meddlesome way that Jerry Jones had to kind of induct himself into this situation where they keep on Kellen Moore as far as the offensive coordinator. But then, I mean, in a way, both sides kind of get what they want. Mike McCarthy, I don't know what maybe was said behind closed doors or whatever, but I think maybe in a way you get what you want, because you get Kellen Moore back. Both sides probably want the same thing as far as that, the development of Dak Prescott. And with Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator for the first season, his numbers increasingly jump. So you want that out of your young quarterback. If this the guy that you can relate to, it's kind of win-win on both sides. And then I want to touch on something that kind of caught my attention. The XFL. The XFL. So when I first thought about it, they said the XFL coming back. I was like, they need to just stop. The XFL. Come on. There's nobody going to be able to compete with the NFL. Now, this is my mindset thinking about it. There's nobody going to be able to compete with the NFL. Why are y'all trying to? It only works with basketball. You know, with all these other different leagues across the league and across seas and all that. It only works in basketball. And just look at AAF, they just faltered. They didn't even have money to even pay the referees. They didn't even have money to pay their own players. And they faltered. And the XFL was fun when it first opened up, because it was like a new, fresh football, like years ago, back in the, what was that, early 2000s, which it was like one season and gone. I watched the game today. I watched a little bit of that DC Defenders and Seattle Dragons. They were playing Seattle Dragons. They have 8 teams. Vince McMahon, of course, the founder. Oliver Luck, Andrew Luck's pops is the commish. And then you got the likes of you got Bob Stoops, you got Pep Hamilton, who was the former offensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts when Andrew Luck was there. And when Andrew Luck was there, every time he was in the press conference, he was always raving about Pep Hamilton. He was always Pep this, Pep Hamilton this. And then I think that was like one of his best statistical seasons. I thought he maybe end up being a head coach somewhere. Jim Zorn, the old Washington Redskins head coach. Damn, where has he been hiding? That's what I've been wondering. Where the hell has Jim Zorn been hiding? We got the Dallas Renegades, the Tampa Bay Vipers, the St. Louis Battlehawks, New York Guardians, the Houston Rednecks. Really, Houston Rednecks. You couldn't come up with anything better than Houston Rednecks. Come on now. All right, Seattle Dragons, the DC Defenders, and the LA Wildcats. I caught some of the DC Defenders game today, and the Seattle Dragons. I was so used to the old XFL that the over the topness. I mean, it was cool. It was different. It was supposed to feel different than the NFL. Now the ball isn't black; it's brown, which should have been in the first place. What if you play a game at night and then you throw a deep ball? You gotta look up at the sky is dark, and you don't know where the ball is. I don't know. That might just be me. I'm tripping. But I watched the game and it was pretty good. It kind of reminded me of the what was that league? World Football of America League. It was like around in the 90s. I'm not World League of Football. And that ended up turning into the NFL Europe, where we got the likes of Jake Delhomme and even Kurt Warner. So it had that feel. It like, okay, I know it's not the NFL, but this is intriguing. You have my attention for a second. It's something I have on in the background as background noise if I'm just walking around the house cleaning up or doing anything or whatever. I probably won't listen to it on the radio. It's not that serious, but it's something like, say, if I just really have a football craving, I'll probably turn on the game, just check it out. I won't be invested in it like I need to get merch. I need to go be a fan of one of these teams. Nah, everybody knows my alliance lies. I liked it. It was cool, and it seemed like they were more this go around taking it serious. The downfall of that is the all access. What I paid attention to. It's a reason why the NFL doesn't put a microphone into a player or a coach's face right after they had a horrible loss, or maybe a call didn't go their way, or maybe on the sideline. There's a reason why they ain't on the sideline. It was one instance where a guy had it was a personal foul, the center or whatever. They got to a little tussle, a little scuffle ensued. So guy ended up falling on the ground. They threw the flag. I'm still confused that his emotions are high. Why would you get in this guy's face and put a microphone in his face and ask him to answer what just went on? Why would you do that? I know you're trying to be different than the NFL, but there's a reason why they don't do that. Oh, within the first 2 seconds of the whole conversation, he dropped the F-bomb. He said, we're trying to get the effing ball or something like that. All access isn't good access. It's been a great show, I'd like to say. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. YouTube, on each one of your podcast providers. And like I said, if you just want to hit me up, and I will start doing fan Q&A. So if you have any questions that you want me to answer on the show, and because like I said, I created this platform for the fans, and I call this where I'm at, Fan Perspective Drive. And that's it. I'm out. Till next time. I'm out of here like last year. Peace.